Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the woods, there was a little girl named Lily. She lived in a modest house with her parents and younger brother. Lily was a shy and reserved child, often keeping to herself and spending hours reading books or drawing pictures. One day, Lily's parents decided to take the family on a camping trip deep in the forest. Lily had never been camping before, and she was both nervous and excited about the adventure. As they drove down the winding dirt road leading to the campsite, the forest grew thicker and the trees taller, casting long shadows over the car. They arrived at the campsite and began setting up their tent. Lily's parents were both experienced campers, so they quickly erected the tent and started a fire. They cooked hot dogs on sticks and told spooky stories around the fire. As the night wore on, Lily grew more and more uneasy. She kept hearing strange rustling noises in the bushes, and every time she looked up, she saw a pair of glowing eyes staring back at her. Her parents reassured her that it was probably just an animal, but Lily couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her. Later that night, as everyone was settling into their sleeping bags, Lily heard a faint whispering voice calling her name. At first, she thought it was her imagination, but the voice grew louder and more insistent. "Lily. Lily." She sat up in her sleeping bag, heart pounding in her chest. She looked around the tent, but no one else seemed to have heard the voice. Then, she saw a small, pale figure standing in the corner of the tent. It was a little girl, about Lily's age, with long black hair and sunken eyes. She was wearing a white nightgown and had a strange, ethereal quality about her. Lily tried to scream, but her voice caught in her throat. She felt paralyzed with fear. The little girl's eyes were hollow, as if all life had been sucked out of them. She stared at Lily, unblinking, as if she were a predator sizing up its prey. Lily could feel her own heart beating wildly in her chest, like a bird trapped in a cage. And then, without warning, the little girl lunged at her. Lily felt her body go rigid with fear, unable to move or scream. The little girl's grip was icy, like the touch of death itself. Lily could feel her fingers digging into her skin, as if trying to take hold of her soul. Lily's mind raced as she struggled to break free. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. She felt like she was drowning, trapped in a world of darkness and despair. Just as the little girl was about to reach her, Lily's parents stirred in their sleep. The little girl vanished into thin air, and Lily was finally able to scream. Her parents woke up, disoriented and confused. They comforted Lily and assured her it was just a nightmare. But Lily knew it wasn't a dream. She had felt the little girl's cold breath on her face, and the memory of those sunken eyes would haunt her for the rest of her life. Lily never forgot that night. It stayed with her, like a dark cloud hanging over her for the rest of her life. She never went camping again, and she never spoke of the little girl to anyone. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, Lily would wake up screaming, drenched in sweat. She could still hear the little girl's voice calling her name, as if she were still trapped in that nightmare forest, with no hope of escape.